And then, so he's like, okay, really good match on the start. Like, how are you going to answer that? All right, we got something for you. Saya Iida versus Mirai in a Golden Generation match. I've written down some notes. This is the only match I'm going to go to the notes on, I believe. Match starts with them working a Greco-Roman knuckle lock back and forth until Mirai escapes. They trade big forearms back and forth. Iida eventually switches the chops and wins. They fight back and forth for leverage for a body slam until Iida wins. Iida gets wrist control and chops Mirai down over and over until Mirai breaks free. And Mirai hits the ropes and lands a big lariat that Iida no sells. Iida hits the ropes and nails Mirai with a big lariat. Mirai stays on her feet but sells. They trade lariats back and forth while they're on their feet, but they start bumping for these lariats, and then they start firing back up to their feet. They hit running lariats to each other 3 times in a row until they both collapse and the crowd claps. In appreciation of big hoss wrestling. Mirai gets a sleeper hold. Iida runs her back into the corner to escape. Iida goes to the top rope and hits a big shoulder block. Mirai escapes a Northern Lights suplex attempt and hits a lifting face buster. They charge each other from opposite corners and hit each other with a lariat. Mirai comes off the ropes with a lariat. Iida blocks it with a big club. Mirai goes. It comes off the rope. Mirai blocks hers with a big club. Mirai goes off the rope for a lariat, but Iida beats Mirai to the punch with a big lariat that turns her inside out. Iida fires up and pulls the straps down, and I stand up out of my chair yelling, "Let's fucking go!" at 4:30 in the morning like a lunatic. Iida lifts her up for her spring brain buster finish, but Mirai fights back down and slaps on a Kimura. Iida is on top, so she starts fighting to make the ropes with her feet, but Mirai rolls them both back towards the middle of the ring, putting Iida on the bottom and off her feet in the center of the ring, leaving Iida with dead to rights with no choice but to tap out. Post-match, these two bump fists in respect for one another's awesomeness, and Iida gestures that this is just the first match before walking off, clutching her arm that's damaged. 3.5 stars. This was never open weight wrestling. I tweeted that this was a second match love letter to big fight hoss wrestling, pro wrestling. This is what Brock versus Roman should be, almost move for move on Sunday. Someone send this fucking match to Big E to lift his spirits. Stardom needs to add a new belt to showcase this hoss division we're seemingly stumbled onto. Rich, I just said this earlier while I was before I started going through the Cinderella tournament stuff. I had sent this to JD from Red Leaf Retrocast.
Mm-hmm.
Saya Iida, Utami Hayashishita, Maika, Himeka, Mirai. Shuri is leaving. And we'll get to that later. She is leaving Donald Mondo, and with that, she is brought in a woman named Ami originally from Actress Girl. She's 5'7". She does number power moves. So Ami is in here too. Now, you might say, well, James, that's only like 6 people. Check this out. In theory, when she comes back, if she's not on that bullshit, you get Nasco Tora that could do this as a power wrestler. In theory, you could bring Jungle back and she could be in this division. In theory, you could say Takumi Iroha, come out here and go lay the smackdown like 4 from the top. In theory, you can say, hey, Risa Sero, we just saw you go toe-to-toe with Micah and throw her around. You come in here too and you get yourself a check. And then also, my favorite one, the one that I want the most, you saw her at the end of night 2. After her match with Shuri that they eventually do, Nanai, you want to be champion again? Go out here and be the super hyper brawler, one of the best I've ever seen, and go out there and do it again. That's a solid ass division. You want your high speed division? Not me. You want your 5-star classic match from Shuri Kondo? Not me. I want big, strong, muscular women beating the shit out of each other with clubs and forearms until they collapse. This is what this was. Give me this division.
Oh my god.
Give me my women's never open weight title. Give it to me.
A compelling case indeed. Yeah, man. Mirai, awesome.
Yes.
Just I 3 for 3 for me. With Mirai. Uh, I saw some folks wondering whether she was better or in Tokyo Joshi Pro or Stardom. I don't know. I didn't watch Tokyo Joshi Pro. Well, all I know is that this woman's been awesome in every match I've seen her in. Iida, I feel like a year was stolen from her
Yes.
with the injury, and she's a tad bit behind everybody else. But now she's like hitting the ground running, and like she just flexes at all times. So you know, I feel like when I talk about Iida from now on, you know, you gotta do this, you know,
Bro,
to make sure that you convey the message properly.
we lost a year of Iida, but she has somehow, even with that, still improved from where she was. Like she was already very good, and like she has somehow still gotten better while being away from wrestling with in rehabbing and all that. Like she showed up
Just
at
like
New
Britt.
Blood. She showed up at New Blood 1, right? And she had that new gear and the hair, and I was like, okay, whatever. And I saw that she had like, you know, the straps, you know, the singlet deal, and I was like, huh, I wonder. When she took off the straps, like, that's what I want. Steinerism, Angleism. Just she fucked up. I love her. I'm so glad she's back. I missed her. I didn't realize I missed her this much. Yes, just pure oomph, number oomph and grit.
Dome jock wrestler. Shout out to
Yes.
Joe and Rich.
Yes. Oh man.